Hello and welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Yes.
How's it going?
I'm going. I'm not liking this chill in the air, but you know what? I feel nice and cozy next to you, John.
Well, I mean, it is Martin Luther.
Nice going. Way to butcher the guy's name.
It is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. Well, yesterday was anyway.
Yes.
And we got an extended weekend off.
Yes.
And to me, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Any day off for any type of holiday is always a good time.
But as John and I always say, always remember what that holiday's about. Be it Martin Luther King Day, be it Memorial Day. Remember what it's about, not just that you can barbecue on some of those days, not Martin Luther King, well, at least by us. We're kind of it's kind of just a day off, actually.
It's kind of just a day
as
off.
far as that side of it goes. But we do, obviously got to pay our respect and tributes to him.
Important person in history.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Shout out Martin Luther King Jr.
Shout out.
And let's drink.
Yeah. What do we got here, John?
We are moving out of New Jersey, finally. We're out of the tri-state area.
Yes.
But we're sticking on the East Coast, though.
Yeah, we're still on the East Coast. We need some West Coast over here.
We're driving up to Vermont for this one.
No, right?
This is from my buddy Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
He had some connections up in Vermont, and they brought us back this beer. This is from Frost Beer Works out of Heinsberg, Vermont. This is called Lush. It's a double IPA coming in at 8%.
All right.
And it looks good.
Okay, let's try this out, buddy.
Give it a shot. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah, this is definitely from there, man. It tastes that Vermont all over it. Really good.
It tastes like snow.
It tastes like
Like maple syrup.
No, when I think Vermont, I think like, obviously you're going to think like Alchemist, like Hetty Topper. You think like Lawson's. You think some of these, and I'm kind of, I don't know, it just tastes Vermonty to me.
Vermonty.
Yeah, but I love how we come up with names here.
Yeah.
It just has that kind of taste to it, I think. I feel like it's got that hoppiness. It's a little bit more bitter. Then, I find that those ones from up there, it's, I think it's solid. What do you think, John?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
No bad aftertaste.
Yeah.
It's got that good hazy IPA flavor that you're always looking for. 8%'s a little heavy. I think you can taste the 8%.
You can.
Not that it's boozy, but it's thicker. I don't know how to explain. Not thicker, but it's an 8% beer. It's heavy. How about that? Heavy.
I don't even know if heavy is the right word, because heavy, you think like stout kind of heavy. I don't know. I would think it's just...
it's one you have to drink in moderation. How about that?
Yeah, it's got a little power to it.
It's got power to it.
Yeah. But it's good. And I'm glad we split these cans, because sometimes... especially if we have a beer before or whatever, it's nice to break it up a little.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks again, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
We will be hopefully seeing Chris on the show sometime soon.
Chris, Chris wants to come on. We want to bring him on. But right now he is practicing the ritual of dry January.
Oh. Chris, why are you being a quitter right now?
I don't understand what it does. I did it once. What's to reset the body for the year? You're just going to start over again anyway.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I did it. And then when January was over, I went into February like I died for 10 years and I'm coming back to life. And I just started drinking everything in front of me.
You drank more than you did.
Yeah, I had to play catch up.
First and foremost, I don't think they should have a dry January. I think they should have, if they're going to do it, I say dry February, because it's less days.
Yes. Exactly. I agree.
Unless it's a leap year, then you're like, damn you, leap year. I need a beer. But yeah, I think...
I don't know.
It's like, it's 31 days in January. It's kind of a long month.
What's it really doing for you?
Yeah. I don't know. I have given up alcohol for Lent.
Okay.
I did that. Which I'm not even Catholic, but I just said I want to give it up. I want to give it up.
Say that.
I want to give it up for a certain period of time, and I just figured, Mardi Gras, okay, let's try it out, Let's see.
I am Catholic, and I give up stuff like beets. I'm not going to eat beets during Lent. I don't eat beets anyway, so that's easy for me. I don't give anything up. I eat meat on Friday. Maybe I'm just a bad Catholic.
I think that whole meat on Friday thing was kind of like something that introduced no meat on Friday because they wanted to bump up the fish market or something.
right.
It was something with that.
Was it Fisherman Gordon?
Yes.
Like signing something with the devil. And...
it was Mr. Gordon the fisherman.
Yeah.
Said you shouldn't have meat on Friday.
Buy my fish sticks.
Buy my fish sticks. Yeah, but
But what else is there? Dry January.
But yeah, the fish on Friday. Just to reiterate on it real quick, when it comes to like Lent and things like, you're supposed to have a sacrifice, something you're really sacrificing. And I don't think even not eating fish on Fridays, not eating meat on Fridays, I don't think that's much of a sacrifice in my eye. I think a real sacrifice is like not eating like 7 hours, 8 hours in a day. You know what I mean, or whatever. Or I don't know. That's my view on it. But anyways, what is back to Dry January? What is it? It's basically you're not having any alcohol at all, correct?
No alcohol for the whole month of January.
Yeah, for no month of
So basically, New Year's Eve is your last hurrah until February 1st.
Yeah. Until February 1st.
And then you just start like nothing ever happened. Like I said, I don't get it.
Yes, and then you find yourself, like you said, drinking more.
Mark, you're playing catch up. You miss it. You got a fridge full of beer.
So I've noticed this about having, like, for instance, like I've dieted before where I've lost 20, 30 pounds. And then once my diet ended, I ended up gaining 40 pounds.
Yeah, because you indulge.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh my God, I missed you. You know?
Yeah. Like I said, you got a fridge full of beer. So once February's over, you're like, this beer's been sitting here now for over a month. Now I got to drink it all.
Chris, we're not hating on you, buddy. We're not.
I mean, props if you can do it. Props to you. But.
I just think it's tough. I think it's, and I don't know if the long-term goal is there. I think I did it in the past where I gave up for certain periods of time. And this was years ago. Just to say I'm not an alcoholic and I can give it up whenever I want. And
you're more trying to prove something to yourself.
And B, to maybe hopefully lose a little weight, you know.
Right.
But
that part I can understand.
Yeah.
Like me, I cut down to just the show and Saturday nights. That's really it. But we'll see. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do I think he asked me, "You doing Dry January?" I'm like, I got this popular show.
Yes, we have to do it for the fans.
I can't disappoint, the millions and millions.
And we do it for the fans, and we do it for the kids as well.
Yeah, we do it for the kids. Shout out to all the kids out there that are in Dry January watching two drunks. Anyway, what else is there? There's Dry January. There's no shave November.
November, whatever. Right? Yes.
No nut November.
No nut.
No nut November.
No, I never heard that one.
Seriously?
No.
No nut November. You can't nut for a whole month.
Oh God.
It's the same thing. Why are you dry in January?
It's like that movie 40 Days and 40 Nights where he for Lent he gives up anything.
Oh
yeah. Related to
nothing
sex.
sexual.
Yeah, sex or sexual. Or anything of that sort,
Impossible.
Yeah, and he did it and then he just going crazy towards the end of that 40 days and 40 nights.
And then it turns into 40 seconds once that night's over.
And you watch the movie and every woman that's walking down the street is topless walking by. That's the way he was seeing it because he was so like,
Stop being perverted.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, I mean, there's I don't know. That's the only ones I could think of. Was the beard in November, Dry January. Comment on our comments and let us know what else.
Who makes this stuff up?
I don't know.
Where did it come from?
It's like, dude, it's like national days,
right?
So there are
National Pizza Week.
So if you watched, it was a couple of weeks ago, CBS Sunday Morning. I always mention that show. I love that show. I watch it on Sunday mornings, obviously.
Strange.
Jane Pauley, yes. So they were talking. It was the people who create those days. It started out like it's just something fun to do, and then so they find themselves like really like, well, we need to have a hot dog day, and we need to have. And does it go along the lines of like Nathan's when they do their, where if they do their hot dog eating competition?
Right.
I'm assuming they want to do it make National Hot Dog Day around that same time.
Right.
So when I owned my grilled cheese place, I used to have a huge celebration for National Grilled Cheese Day. So it actually benefited me.
It does. I just don't know who makes that up though. Is there like 10 people sitting in this random room?
John.
Exactly. Like junkies?
So like I said, when I watched...
We need something for February 3rd. What can February 3rd be?
It was like National Daughters Day, National Sons Day. And then everyone posts their pictures of their kids on Facebook. And I'm like, you know me, I'm like that. I won't post any of that stuff, man. I'm kind of like... I mean, if it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, all right, that's one thing. You want to post a nice picture with you and your mom or your dad or whatever, but I don't know.
It's just strange, very strange. And I feel like Pizza Day comes up at least 4 or 5 times a year.
Well, that is a day to be celebrated. Pizza is by far my favorite food. So
pizza should be just every Friday. Should be pizza day.
Yeah, so that's what happened in my house. So I was raised Catholic, and in my household, we didn't actually have meat on Fridays.
You had pizza,
We had pizza every Friday until this day.
like everybody else.
And even though none of us are Catholic anymore, until this day, my whole family, we will eat when we all get together on Fridays. It's pizza day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the
carried
pizzerias are busier on Fridays, and then when Lent comes around, forget it. It takes you 2 hours to get a pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, crazy cookie.
Might as well make your own.
Yeah. So, as far as the national holidays go, I think it is. It's just a group of people that do it. And
Is that one of those cool jobs that you were talking about a couple weeks ago?
yeah, I know. I know, right?
Come
Cool.
up with a day for
Yes.
March 18th.
Yes.
That's St. Patrick's Day.
17th of St. Patrick's
All right,
Day.
so see, we need a day for March 18th.
Yeah.
Taylor Ham and Cheese Day for everybody hungover.
Taylor ham
from,
and cheese. We gotta. I know. What if it's like specific to? Say it's like poke when you're in Hawaii. Like they should have a national poke day.
Yeah, right.
Or National Taylor Ham and Cheese Day in Jersey. I don't know.
That's every day.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean,
It's that good.
you know how I judge a bagel place around here in New Jersey, and how if they have good food is the first thing I'll ever order when I go there is a Taylor ham, egg and cheese on a everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup.
SPK.
Yep. And if it's good, that's how I'll judge the place. If it's not good, I'm not coming back. you
Good.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, why bother?
Yeah. Always talking about food, right?
We are pub. Well,
Pub Sides and Grubs. That is true.
Are we?
Yes.
I think we still are.
Yes. But yeah.
At least we're not eating it in front of our millions and millions of viewers.
Yes, like we do all the time. Yeah. Chris, we wish you the best of luck with that dry January. Let us know how it goes, and hopefully we'll see you here in February.
February 1st, he'll be calling me up. Yeah, he's going to need his fix.
He's going to stumble over to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got going on?
As far as
Life.
life in general, recently you had posted a picture of us, or no, one of us posted a picture of us at South and Pine.
Yes.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was.
we did our holiday get together.
And John won a
Lunch for
contest,
two.
an Instagram one, which you still have to go to, possibly. And
Yeah, I don't know about that.
yeah,
They didn't treat me well.
no,
I talked highly of them. I was even speaking to whoever runs their Instagram page so many times on the side.
yeah,
And I went with the wife. We both had a day off, a rare day off,
yeah,
without kids because they were in school. And I went there to take her to lunch, and they denied me. They said they didn't have room for me, even though there's one person sitting at a table.
Did they not like Italians?
Maybe
No.
they're racist. My
We're
wey's
joking.
Puerto Rican. Maybe they didn't like Puerto Ricans.
We're
Why is it
joking.
Italians? I
We're
don't know.
completely joking.
But she said that they were completely full with reservations at 12 o'clock on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was the day after New Year's, a lot of people were off and they were
Yeah.
meeting up. I can understand that. But we did call before we left to make sure they were open, and they didn't mention. We told them we were on our way, and they didn't mention anything like, "Well, maybe you should make a reservation,"
Yeah.
or "Hey, we're full.
Yeah.
Come at 2 o'clock."
Yeah.
So I drove to Morristown, and I was disappointed.
Yes.
To say the least.
Because it wasn't. They had one customer in there and they didn't sit you. I got you. But two things to consider, John. One thing is the girl that you spoke to. You said she was young. She kind of might have been.
She was young. She wasn't exactly very friendly.
All right. So
A
unfortunately,
little bit of a tude.
and you and I have both dealt with this being in restaurants. Sometimes the face of your business, unfortunately, is sometimes your lowest paid person. It's a cashier, or it's that, or the waiter, or someone that and not to say they don't perform their job well, but a lot of times some of these younger ones that are like a host or something of a restaurant, they are not necessarily the ones that are taking care. It's almost like the owner might be like, "Oh, don't take any reservation." Okay, and then they don't even take into consideration your backstory.
Right.
Like, hey, listen, I won this, or hey, listen, we just called.
My thing would be, hear me out. I explain my situation. Maybe be like, all right, well, we're sorry. It's only good for January. We'll extend it to February for you. Hopefully you can get back.
Yes.
If not, all right.
I see it. And that's something I would do, I think.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I told her I can't get back here.
Yeah.
This is the only day me and my wife had off.
Yeah.
I can't get back here.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
And we spoke to you this morning. Like, why
Yeah.
didn't you say you need a reservation? I
Yeah.
drove all the way out here.
Yes, exactly.
Then maybe just say, maybe I could send a message back to whoever I was speaking to
Yeah.
on Instagram. Maybe they will extend it for me. But at this point, I don't want to make that big of a
And
deal out of
just-
it. It's still a cool place. It didn't
And
turn me off. I'll still go back
understand.
again.
I understand, but keep this in mind too as well, though, John. And to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, when we went there, when I had brought this up, when we had went there, we had reservations, and we're like, why the hell do we need reservations? But when we left the place, it was packed. It was packed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not denying that they were making it up.
Yes. Make it
But-
work. You could make it work. It was two people.
Make it worth it.
You could put you anywhere.
But like I said, maybe the person who speaks on Instagram, maybe that's the owner. Maybe they don't know that this person was kind of
Yes.
tooty to me.
I guess there's more to it.
But
Now,
it is what it is.
how does like
If I
that?
paid for it, it would have been a big deal. I want it.
So when you're at a restaurant, whatever, and just out of curiosity, and say the waiter came over for just to place your order and to like just give you your check at the end, and they didn't never walked over. How are you when it comes to like tipping someone like that? How is it like
So I normally tip 20% no matter what.
Yeah,
But I think something like that will depend on if I round up or round down.
yeah.
If
Do you tip on tax? Do you tip on drinks? I've always heard different things about this.
I just tip on the total bill.
The total bill. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the bill's $50, you're getting a $10 tip.
Yeah, basically 20%. Do you find yourself tipping more because of COVID at any point? Because these restaurants suffered, or
I don't tip more because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tip more money because of COVID.
okay,
I tip more than I ever have before. Like I'll tip if I'm picking up a slice of pizza, if I'm picking up a sandwich from a shop.
Yes.
I'll throw a couple bucks in the jar, which
Yeah.
is something I never did before.
yeah,
I will tip extra for somebody who gives me good service.
yeah, yes,
But COVID really hasn't changed how much I tip if I'm at a sit-down restaurant.
I think I've gone up a little bit. I think I'm instead of 20%, more like 25% now, kind of. If they're good, if it's good service,
Right.
If it's mediocre, 20%. If it's something that really annoyed me about them and they didn't come over or didn't do their job properly, 18 maybe.
Would you ever not tip?
I just
Have you ever not tipped?
I don't know. I can't say that. It'd have to be really depends on where it was. Never at a restaurant that I have not tipped. I've always tipped at every restaurant. As far as certain things, maybe like another service. Say you went to the car wash and you weren't happy how it came out.
Right.
They didn't dry the car. Maybe you're not going to tip.
Right.
Maybe something like that along those lines. But
right.
I can't say.
I actually tipped the last time we were here for the podcast. I got gas over by Morristown,
All right.
and when I got gas, the guy squeegeed all my windows.
I will always tip for that.
And
Yeah.
I gave him like $3.
Yeah.
I was like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, thank you very much."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, technically, because if you're people who don't live in New Jersey we do not pump our own gas.
Right.
We have our gas pumped for us. I think there's
Tenant does
only
it for you.
technically, I think there's only 2 states that have it where it's illegal for you to pump your own gas, and it's us and I think Oregon.
I don't know the other.
Yeah, I think it's Oregon, where the rest of the country you pump your own gas. Or, I mean, I've been to like California where I've been to places where they have pumped it for you, but you pay extra, I think, for it or something. Of that
Really?
sort. But that was many years when I was there, so I don't know if that's changed. But yeah, sometimes that's the case. Sometimes,
I threw the guy $3. I was like, "Hey, thanks."
well, you're generous. I would have done $1. I would do $1. When they do the wins, they do $1. But yes, as far as that goes, I think it depends. Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, with the pandemic, I know a lot of people were out for some time.
Do you tip for pickup? So you order a pizza, you go in and pick it up and run in real quick. Do you leave a tip?
10% usually.
Do you?
Yeah.
If you're paying by cash, do you throw something in the jar, or
Yeah.
only if by credit card?
Both.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. 10, I would say 10.
Even if I'm picking up, I throw $2-3 in.
Because usually
in the jar.
for some reason, when I pick
Not
up,
as much,
it's
just a
never
couple
like, you know what? All right. I shouldn't even say 10%. I think I usually tip 1 to 2 every time I
Yeah,
pick up.
it's like $2-3.
Yeah, because I have ordered like sushi and stuff, and I'm like, all right, the bill might be $80, and I'm picking up like my meals look like this big.
It's $80 for.
Although, granted, a lot more work goes into just making sushi. I understand the chefs and stuff like that. I don't know how they do that. Who gets tipped on that?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'll sometimes I'm not going to tip. I'm not going to tip 10%. I guess on certain things.
How about if you go into a brewery and you buy a quick 4-pack and leave?
I think it depends. If it's the bartender that helps you out, if it's a guy that's job is dedicated to that, I don't know.
Let's say you go into Bricks and you want a 4-pack. You have to ask the bartender for it. She gets it for you. You pay. It's literally a 45-second job.
I think the answer to that is catch me on a good day, yes. Catch me on a bad day, no. You know?
I always do.
Yeah, I guess. I think it depends how they are with you. If they're friendly, sometimes it just says, "Hey, how's your day going?" Whatever. Yeah. Then I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, I'll tip you." You were nice.
I do. I tip for everything. I think I overtip sometimes.
Yeah.
My wife tells me I overtip sometimes.
Yeah. That's how they remember you, though. So as being in the industry where we've worked in places where tips happened often, if you were a delivery driver or if you were someone that was a cashier or a waiter or something of that sort.
I work behind the counter in a restaurant.
Yes. So we're pretty familiar with it. And I always said, coming from this industry, there's two people that you remember, the people who don't tip and the people that tip a lot. So I find that if you do tip a little extra, people are always going to remember you.
Absolutely.
And if you're that person that tips like $1 on a $50 bill, then.
But if you you are that good tipper. You almost have to stay consistent, though.
Yes,
that sticks with people.
I know.
You can't go in one day and be like, all right, here's $1 when you used to tip them $5.
Well, I used to do. I don't do them as much now. But like when Pubs and Grubs kind of started, Pub Suds and Grubs kind of started. I used to go to a lot of places for lunch. A lot. My places that I was at regularly, and it was always the same bartender. You saw that tips were just going higher. But here was the thing, though. My tips were going higher. But I was getting free. I was getting like 3 free beers sometimes.
Right.
So in the end, I actually was saving money, and they were making more money.
Sure.
I guess it was the business that owned it. I was getting screwed, there. But I'm not going to say no when someone's offering me a free beer at a bar. So, you know.
What if you have a coupon for a restaurant and you get, say, you spend $80 and you get this coupon, it takes $30 off. Do you tip on the 80 or do you tip on the 50?
You tip on the check before any discounts.
Good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the way to do it because that's what they gave you. And you never would tip on. It's like using a gift certificate for $100 on a $101 meal.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
What about delivery? You tip good for delivery, or I know around here, I guess it's harder to get to, or it takes longer to get to.
I've always done 10% on delivery.
10%.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the bill is.
Yeah, typically,
I always do $5.
Yeah.
$5 is unless it's a really big order, which I don't ever do.
Yeah.
It could be 2 pizzas or 2 dinners, or
Well, nowadays pizzas are costing more money, so
it's always $5. Chinese food.
Yeah.
Always $5.
Yeah, 10, 15.
Sometimes that
depends, and also I think it depends how quick they get there. If it's a crappy day, if it's raining or snowing, I'm going to tip 20 easy.
Yeah.
20% easy.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't order out if it's snowing.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I've done it and I hated it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, or raining, or if it's just they have to go out in the rain, they have to do something above and beyond,
Right. Do you give less to the Chinese people who deliver, the Chinese restaurants?
No, I tip everyone the same.
Okay.
What an ass. But yeah, I don't know.
It's always the owner that shows up. You know?
And as owners of restaurants, we have delivered plenty.
We have.
Unfortunately,
and I'll take that tip when I get it.
Yes. I remember working. So when I had my restaurant, I never took my cashier's tips. I never, when I had my grilled cheese place or whatever.
No. Always goes to the staff.
It always goes to the staff, and but if under certain circumstances, like if I was having to cashier because my cashier wasn't there at the moment, or they came late,
Oh, that's a different story. Yeah.
or something, or mainly, and don't tell me you've never done this, if someone personally hands you the money and says thank you.
Yeah, if somebody personally hands you the money and they'll tell you too, like keep that put in your pocket.
Yes.
It's going in my pocket.
I remember when me and John worked together, there was this lady, older woman, probably, she was an old lady. And I had caught her sticking her hand in my tip jar, taking money out.
No.
Yeah. And I said, I saw what you did,
Oof.
And she was like, wow, it's, it's.
I would have flipped out.
She didn't, she was trying to downplay it, this and that. And
was she trying to give it back to you at least? Pretend it was her tip? No, she was just taking
she was trying to take it because there was money in front of her, and she was trying to take it. I feel like she was a little kooky. And I said, you know what? I told her, I said, keep it. Just keep it. If you're willing to go that extent to try to get it, just take it. You obviously need it more than I do, And I don't know. Whatever. It's on her conscience, not mine. I don't feel bad.
I remember delivering one day to a big apartment building, and it was a very large order.
Yeah.
And I believe I even made 2 trips, and the guy gave me $1. $1. Mm-hmm. I ripped up the dollar into little pieces. I sprinkled it on his mat.
Yeah.
And I knocked on the door, and I believe I told him the same thing, like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And, put it together. You need it more than I do.
Yeah.
I didn't need your $1.
Yep.
I just made 2 trips up and down a large apartment building.
Yeah.
With a bunch of bags. The meal had to be at least $100.
Yeah.
And you gave me $1.
Yeah.
Don't give me anything. I'd rather you not tip me.
I know.
Than give me $1.
You know what goes a long way? A thank you too. We've said
I'll take a thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have much cash. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I'll get you next time. All
yes. Right. Lie to me. I remember I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast ever. When I was managing. I've been managed a Panera Bread for a couple of years, and
there was this guy that used to burn people, and now he's burning bread.
No, but yeah, I did mention about that. Yes, there when I worked at Panera. But anywho, there was this woman. It's probably our age-ish around there, and she was in crutches, and she had ordered her food. And before anything, I said, I told her, I said, I'll bring your food over to you.
I think you did mention that.
Yeah. And I see, you're in crutch. I'll bring your food over to you. Just stay in your seat. So I go and I bring the food over to her, and then I was like, everything else, fine. I'm not a waiter. I'm just,
No, there's no waiters at Panera.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh, can I have extra dressing, please? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get you some, whatever. And then she's like, oh, I also need whatever. Okay, no problem. All right, I got other customers here, and then I'm like, all right. And I'm like,
waited for the
yeah. I said, you're all good now. You're all good. And she's like, she just
start eating.
She just started, yeah. And I was like, and I got, and I go, and I said it loud to her. I was like, you're welcome. And we turned around and walked away. And she complained. And she complained to the other managers, because there's a few managers we had there.
What's there to complain about?
That I was rude or something of that
really?
sort. Yeah. Because in that particular area, a lot of people looked at you like you were the gum underneath their sneaker. So it didn't matter your position, if you were a manager or this or that. They didn't care. And
I don't have the attitude to do something like that. I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate people to begin with.
Yeah.
But people like that just make it worse.
Yes. Yes, because they actually think they're better than you a lot of times. That's why I always say take care of everyone as much as you can. Cause
even holding open a door for somebody.
Yeah.
Say thank you.
Say thank you. Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. I don't know. What do we got next here, John?
We got more beer.
And
we're going even farther up north.
Yes.
We're even going over the border.
We are going international here, people.
I don't think we've ever done a beer from Canada before.
I hope it's good, eh?
Eh? I don't even know where it's from. I can't read it. It's in French.
I think it was Quebec. Well, that would make sense.
What's QC?
Quebec City?
Okay.
Maybe?
It's from Sherbrooke, QC. I guess you're right, Quebec City.
I don't know.
This is called, I'm going to mess this up. Siboire Microbrasserie.
Microbrasserie.
Oui.
Yes.
And this is IPA Test number, and there's a lot of them.
So we had to do a little research before this,
We had to
actually,
figure this out.
because we had no
This is another
clue.
beer from my buddy Chris. You could have gave me the heads up, dude.
Thanks, Chris, again.
It was like National Treasure, or like
Yes.
trying to figure out what the
Yes.
clues are.
So this says. So John looked online, and it said, "Look under the can for the."
No, I didn't look online. There's a phrase here in French that I had to go to
Oh,
Google Translate.
God, he even went further with
I
it. I'm
typed
sorry.
it in French,
I'm sorry.
and it came up in English, and it said, "Look on." It was like a Christmas Story, right? When he's cracking the code. Be sure
Right.
to drink your Ovaltine. I'm like, look under can for what?
And when he read it, he said "fragile."
Yeah.
So you look under the can, and then I looked under the can because John was having an issue. I put it in the light, and I said, "It's number 5."
Yeah.
And then John's like, "There is no." He's looking on Untapped or something. He's like, "There is no number 5."
Number 5.
And then he looked again himself, and he saw it was in the edge of the can,
Stamped.
and it said it was Cosmic number.
110.
110.
Cosmic Punch.
Interesting.
IPA Test number 110 Cosmic Punch. It's only 5.8.
Yes.
5.8%. It says Beer Forte. Beer Forte.
Beer. So that's beer.
Beer Forte.
Forte. A beer with a fort.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is our first international beer from Canada.
Well, parlez-vous?
Parlez-vous français?
Oh, oui, oui.
Yeah. Enjoy, eh?
Enjoy.
It smells funny.
It smells like poutine.
Almost poutined all over the floor. Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not.
It's very light.
Yeah. You know, they're stepping up their beer game up in Canada. Last time I was up there, I was
they,
up
though?
in the Ontario, Ontario area. And I stopped at this place called Bellwoods. And listen to this. I'm in Canada, and I'm at this brewery called Bellwoods. The only reason I went there is because on Tapped, everything was like 4.25, 4 point this, 4 point that. And I was like, it's got to be good. I go to my wife. I'm like, let me go check it out. Maybe I pick up a couple cans or something and, bring them back home. Be pretty cool. I went there, and I saw other half collab this, other half collab that. I was like, what? Other half collab? They're collaborating with this brewery up in Canada. And I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
It made sense why the ratings were so high. The beer was awesome. And then they showed up at beer festivals like Green City over in Brooklyn.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. I think Canada's stepping up there. They got some good stuff over there. I don't know how they're regulated compared to us as far as alcohol percentages and things of that sort, but
I've never seen a New England IPA at 5 point something, though.
yeah, that is low. I wonder because the ironic thing
That would
is
be a pale ale.
is that we used to go to Canada to buy Molson Triple X, which was 7.3% alcohol or something back in the day when we didn't have the high ABV beers, and bring them back here. So I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know. It says New England Pale Ale, so 5.8. Never seen one that low.
Yeah.
The smell is something to not be desired, though, right? When you go to put it in your mouth.
I'm going to put it in my mouth. You mean my nose and smell
In
it?
your nose. Smell it in your nose. Can't even say it's the odd episode or the
All right.
even episode.
Here's the thing. It's got something unique going on there. It's not necessarily like on the nose. I wouldn't say it's amazing,
No.
but I think on the palate, I think it's pretty good.
The palate's good.
Yeah,
The
I
nose,
think
not so much. So hold your breath when you drink it.
It's like when we cracked open the
Oh, God.
the ginseng tea,
The hard tea?
hard tea. And John looked at me like I farted.
I thought you tooted all over the place, man. Or the dog.
And I'm like, John, get the nose. Oh, man. But we're not saying it's not nearly like that.
No,
at
that was
all.
bad. Funny, I bought a 4-pack of that day. We did one here, never
Yeah.
opened another one. I brought it to a sports meeting.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe your brother would like it or the ladies would like it.
Yeah.
As soon as they opened it, the smell hit the room, and everybody was looking at each other, and they're like, I'm not drinking this. What you bring is not good.
This is not good. Is this a prank or something?
Yeah. So I dumped the rest.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm sorry, dude. And
Yeah.
and that was partially my fault. I said, didn't I say to get that one?
I would have bought it anyway.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that seems cool. We can put it on the show.
Well, outside of Canada, which I've never been to. I would love to go.
Oh, it's cool, man.
Yeah, I heard Montreal is really cool.
Yeah, Montreal. Yeah.
They're more lenient up there with their rules, I believe, than we are down here.
Well, there's a lot of potheads over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our lovely Governor Murphy had his State of the Union address,
Okay.
and he brought up some cool points.
Yeah, that was, a week ago or something?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
And he mentioned the craft beer breweries, the distilleries, the
Yeah.
wineries,
Yes.
and he wants to, seems like, help them out in a way to bring more people, or
Government
more income.
actually trying to help small businesses? This is blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean, he could be lying through his teeth. I don't know.
I hope he's, I'll give him props. And, I said, I don't agree with everything, but if he can do it, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, good old Murph. I mean, obviously, he still has to take care of the restaurant / bars before he takes care of the craft brewery.
Well, we are a heavily restaurant, especially mom and pop restaurant state. We,
Yeah.
as far as America goes, we probably have the most mom and pop restaurants there are. I wouldn't be surprised. We are the diner capital of the United States,
That we are.
and every diner is owned by mom and pops. If you watch Dave Portnoy and he's doing these pizza places in New Jersey, there's a lot from New Jersey. Mom and pop, mom and pop, mom and pop, mom and pop.
Yeah.
They're all, me and John have done, two guys right here, sitting here, mom and pop.
Yeah.
So, it's almost a no-brainer for him to say, yeah, maybe I should help the mom and pops.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And but obviously, like I said, he wants to help them out, but he's got to. It's the restaurants with the liquor licenses that are giving all
That's
the
the issue.
bullshit. They're the ones that are causing the smaller places
Yes.
their miserable rules that they have.
So
right
basically, in New Jersey, if you don't know, and once again, if you're not someone that's from New Jersey, and you're curious about what the heck we're talking about, as far as liquor licenses go, it's a supply and demand over here. So say each town is allotted a certain amount of liquor licenses. Say where I live here in Chester is allotted 5 liquor licenses, and that's it. That means new liquor licenses can't come in. It's just those 5. And say all of a sudden Chester becomes the hip place to be, and it becomes the restaurant capital of New Jersey.
It's going to be all BYOBs.
Yes, exactly. So what happens is the value of those liquor licenses go up. Once again, supply and demand. You have limited supply, high demand. That means a liquor license that originally maybe went for $5,000 could go upwards of $1 million. So basically, when a restaurant if someone sells their restaurant, they typically will sell their liquor license with it, and that's actually what puts the price tag on the. That's how a restaurant can become more valuable, is because they are selling with their liquor license.
Yeah.
And what happens is now you have someone who bought a restaurant that spent $1 million on a liquor license, and then they come and say, "Oh, we're giving them much cheaper to everyone else." So, as John is saying, is that these people who have these existing liquor license, they're gonna be pretty pissed when they spent $1 million on one, and Joe Schmo, who just opened up his restaurant, is spending $10,000. I mean, it's great new revenue for New Jersey, but what did Murphy say that he may do to help alleviate that?
He wants to give a tax credit. Well, more than just Joe Schmo coming in, it's more of these craft breweries coming in, because their rules are they can't serve food.
Yes.
They can't do certain things. They can only be open certain hours.
Yes.
And the restaurants are afraid that people are going to start going to them if they serve food, because craft brews, that's the new thing.
Yes.
Distilleries is the new thing.
Yes.
So these crybaby restaurants that have liquor licenses are crying about it.
Yeah.
So Governor Murphy wants to give them a tax credit. I don't know how or
Yeah.
if it's all talk. I don't know. It's what he says.
It's not a horrible idea as far as tax credit goes.
For them, so that the breweries and distilleries and wineries can do more with their business.
Yeah.
Make more money. Have events. Have food. I don't know.
Were breweries included in on that, though? Or is it just adding new liquor licenses for restaurants that
No,
want to have
so that's
them?
different. So he wants to add more liquor licenses per town. So I believe it's 1 liquor license per every 30 people who live in your town.
Okay.
So if you have 90,000 people living in your town / city, you're allowed 3 liquor licenses.
Yeah.
If you have 1 million people, whatever, blah, 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 do the math. That's something totally different.
So he's trying to multiply the amount of liquor licenses.
He's trying to multiply the amount of liquor licenses.
Okay.
When it comes to the breweries versus the Fridays or,
Yes.
Tommy's Tap and Tavern,
Yes.
those type of places.
The chain places,
The
yes.
chain places. He wants to give those places a tax credit because he wants to be able to let the smaller places have more way to make income.
Yes. And once again, being a mom and pop state, it's not a horrible idea. But there was someone else at some point, I forgot, it was someone amongst the government that was trying to get New Jersey to actually create a different type of license. So basically, it was a beer/wine license. We weren't selling spirits like bourbon or vodka or any of those, but you could technically buy and renew. Say it was maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a year. You're not buying that initial license, but you can sell beer and wine.
Okay.
The catch was, which would help maybe alleviate the tension and stress and anger from people who own restaurants with a liquor license. They basically said you wouldn't be able to have a bar, though, in the establishment. It's basically, if you want to order a Magnify Vine Shine, they would get it from the back. There's no bar you can sit at. It's just, we'll bring it up to you.
Bring it to your table.
Exactly. That was another idea. I didn't think it was a horrible idea either, because a lot of people would purchase just the beer/wine and renew it every year as tax revenue. That's great for the state.
Makes it a little cheaper, I guess.
Yes.
A little simpler. You don't
Simpler.
need a bartender.
Yes, you don't need a bartender. You're just grabbing something from the back. It's just to have with your food or have with you, and that would cut out the BYOBs, which a lot of restaurants are probably like, geez, I'm losing money on something I could be making money on.
I don't mind a good BYOB myself.
I don't, but
it saves us money. But like you said,
well,
they're not making money.
You got to look at things like this, though, John, especially if you're in a town that is heavily populated with restaurants. The more tax revenue they get from, in theory, from restaurants and places like that, then maybe for the guy who lives in that town, like yourself, maybe you can save a little in the long run.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's always the case, though.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, could this be all talk?
Yeah.
Could the Murph man be bullshitting us once again?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I'm not a huge fan of him, but I can't say
he could be worse.
Yes, I can't say I've been opposed to everything he's said.
Right.
I
He
agree
hasn't
with
done
certain.
that bad of a job.
Yes, I agree with certain things. I agree with, he could have been worse.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We obviously we look out for our local restaurants and we hope the best for them. And I know that some of these people have had these liquor licenses for a long time and spent a lot of money. They don't want their toes to be stepped on. But
and the same goes for these craft breweries and wineries or even distilleries. As you go to a restaurant, like you said before, you go to lunch a lot. You get to be friends with the bartender. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Same thing with these, these craft places. You go there, it's kind of a smaller clientele.
Yes.
And you do really get to know these people, and you don't want them to go out of business.
Yes, and if you think about it too, these places that have been open for that long, they have loyal customers. If you have loyal customers, then you have nothing to worry about.
If you're a chain, you don't even have to worry about loyalty. You have to worry about name. But during the pandemic, I went to Bricks all the time just because I was nervous for them. I didn't want them to shut down. And you want to support those little guys that.
I remember going to Tap House 15, and it was during the pandemic, and I'm very friendly with the bartender, Albie, awesome dude, man. He's such a good guy, and I became like friends with the guy by going there, and always he's watching my son.
Watches your son?
No, he's watched my son grow up from when I had him in the carrier, and then when he sees him now, he's like, "Oh my God, man!" Like he's seen him grow up,
right?
And such a good guy. And I remember during the pandemic, they only had the outdoor dining there, and he's a bartender.
Yeah.
And he came outside to say hello, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, and I remember going to, I took like he wasn't even bartending on me. I took a 20 out, and I was like, Albie, I was like, here, you know, I mean, you can't be, you know, you're not doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
Just for that, like you said, you want to keep supporting the business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, no. It's all right. I said to him, are they taking care of you? You know, he's like, no, it's all taken care of. We're good. I'm like, you know, I was kind of like, I don't want to see you go. I like seeing you here.
Sure,
you know,
absolutely.
And you know, I know how it is, but
yeah, that's why a little extra goes a long way sometimes. It brings it back to tipping, like you just said. You know, a little extra goes a long way sometimes.
He refused to take it. Though. He didn't take it.
We don't tip to get something back for free. We tip because we want to take care of the people that take care of us.
Yes, which sometimes means they're giving me something for free.
I mean, it's a plus. It's not why we do it. It's a plus.
I'll tip him more. He gives me free beers. No, that's not the reason. No, I'm just joking, kind of. But yeah, I mean, that's.
We'll see.
I hope
Hopefully,
they figure it out.
But I'm going to be honest. I almost don't want the breweries around me to start serving food and blah, blah, blah. I like the way they are. Mm-hmm. I like to bring my bag of chips. Yeah. Sometimes I cut up some cheese and some pepperoni. I bring some crackers. And I like to just go and sit in a board game, and we eat our own stuff.
Well, it's like we mentioned about Ghost Talk Brewery in Clifton, Rutt's Hut, the famous hot dog place. Rutt's Hut. Yeah, they can bring over Rutt's Hut and have that. And eat that
if they start selling hamburgers and hot dogs, they're not going to let you bring Rutt's Hut in anymore.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, well,
it's a it's a give and take.
I think there's more pluses and minuses though to have it in there, though. You know,
I know. It's nice to go to Tin Barn and
or Equilibrium,
or Equilibrium and get some barbecue.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
we'll see how it goes. I mean, if he were to pull this through, I don't think it'd be anytime soon anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, but you know, we've
been talking too much.
Yeah,
what do we got?
Are we rambling? Is that what we're doing? Oh gosh, today we have Barrell. I think we may have had one other barrel on here, maybe the Seagrass.
Isn't that Barrell?
Barrell, like Ty Barrell from Modern Family. No, I always say Barrell. Barrel bourbon. This one is a cask strength, coming in at 116.6 proof. It's a little higher. Well, cask strength, brother. That's what you're going to get. 58.3% alcohol. This is batch number 33. I've heard good things about this batch, actually.
I actually heard 32 was better, but 33 is supposed to be pretty good.
No joke. I've actually really heard good things about batch 33. If you see batch 33, I heard it's the one to get. It's aged for 5 years, and yeah, I don't know. It's out of Louisville, so you know it's got to be good, right?
It's open, so you've had it.
I have had it. It is pretty good, actually.
I'll take your word on it. We'll take your word on it. Not too much.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
It smells like it might burn a little bit. It smells how the
I just
proof
poured
is.
it. Give it a second to breathe, maybe. See. You know what it smells like?
Bourbon.
That needs to be drunk. Cheers.
Cheers.
What do you think, Johnny?
It burns a little bit, but it's a good burn. It's not a bad burn.
Yeah.
I think the past few that we've done, there's been no burn, so well, they've been lower.
Yeah, they've been lower. The last one was lower proof.
Lower proof.
Yeah.
This is up there, but it's. I think I'm getting used to this higher.
You like the higher proof?
I think I am.
Look at this guy.
I think I am.
I brought this guy to saying I don't like bourbon to like. Let me take your 119.4 proof, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Now he's at the point. He's like, I'll sell this to you for like $995. You want this one? $995.
I was telling John before the podcast, I was like, John, I got an overabundance of stuff, man.
Yeah.
If you want to buy some things,
don't go to the liquor store if you want anything.
Yeah, if you want anything, come to me. I'm actually offered him something less than what I bought it for.
Just take it off my hands, please. I can't get by.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I think I would like it better colder. I feel like the higher proof, I want a little bit of ice in it.
Yeah. All right.
Is that
Any
bad?
notes? No.
Is that bad?
Nothing bad, dude. It's whatever way you want to do it, dude.
If I want it in an old fashioned, can I put it in an old fashioned?
Not this one. It's a little
See,
pricey.
I can't do what I want to do then.
Nah, this one's a little pricier. I always say that if it's kind of expensive, then you don't want to.
I hear you. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, you said that last week, and we talked about it. And it made sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But I can throw an ice cube in there without being judged.
Yeah. Well, what do you? Any notes on that, buddy? Any taste on that? We're no experts by any means, but
Cinnamon,
maybe a hint.
a little bit.
I always get the vanilla, man. I got a vanilla.
I'm not getting any vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm getting more like a nutmeggy vanilla, nutmeggy cinnamon type of.
All right. I can see that. Like a eggnoggy
Like a
spices.
spice, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, though. I like it.
Where are they out of? You said
It's Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're their own. They're not under the umbrella of somebody else.
You know, as far as Barrell goes, I can't. I'm trying to remember what their story is. I mean, but it is distilled in Kentucky and Indiana, so I don't know. You know?
Indiana too.
Yeah, well,
interesting.
that's they're all right there. So,
Kentucky and Indiana.
yeah,
Are they close? They could be.
so
I don't know. I think I failed geography.
I don't know. We got to head down there and just go everywhere and see. You know, Indiana, Kentucky.
Yeah, we'll take a little bit off. Maybe when we get divorced,
Yeah.
we'll go on a road trip together. That's what's gonna happen.
You wouldn't come on. I'm ready to do the I have a free trip that I need to use because my wife went away for a week with her friends. So I can go to I've been wanting to do the trail. So
All right. All right. I hear
He
you.
says that now after he
hear
had
ya.
a couple, and then when I ask him seriously, he's like, oh.
Like, you were serious about that?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is solid Barrel. Awesome job. Your Seagrass is phenomenal. I've had that one before as well. I haven't had too many of their products, but
Are they easy to find?
yeah, you can find.
You
this.
can find that in your local store.
Yeah.
Is it a bargain buy?
No,
You mentioned that it was a little pricier.
no,
You wanted to have.
it
so
is pricier. It's a pricier
pricey
bourbon.
bottle.
Yes, it is a pricier bourbon. I haven't seen them like less than 60. I don't think. I don't know. But
Okay. For anybody who hasn't noticed or seen, Ken did his own little video about bourbons that were under
5 bourbons under $70 that are must-haves.
that
you
are
know,
must-haves.
yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Good. Great. Actually, great bourbons.
Yeah.
That
You actually
are-
did a couple of ones that I really like.
Yeah.
You did on there.
Oh.
And so go check that out. I mean, he gives you some good information. He tastes each one. He lets you know how much they cost, what they taste like. You really went in depth there, bud.
Yeah, it was fun.
It looked fun.
was fun.
I was a little jealous. It looked fun. I wish I was with you.
Yeah.
So now, I think you should do under $50.
Yeah, it's
You
in
know,
the thoughts.
Got people like me who are too cheap.
I was
You
thinking,
know, or beginners.
I may do
know?
I don't know if I should reveal this just yet because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it, but I probably will end up doing it at some point. I may do a Poor Man's Pappy one, where so basically, people say that if you mix a certain amount of parts of Antique 107 Weller and Weller 12 year, you can kind of replicate the taste of Pappy
Pappy?
Van Winkle, I think 15 year.
Have you had it before?
15 year?
Yeah.
I just had it recently, yes.
Okay, so you're the only one that would know if it tastes like it.
Even if I would really know, technically the best way to find out if you would know if it tastes like is if you have them side by side, which is not going to happen because I don't have Pappy 15 on hand.
Okay.
So I may do one and see, but I have had it before.
So you might make your own blend. You want to make your own blend and see. What you
Yes,
can
I
come up
may
with.
do it. Basically, I may do something where I make it on here and then cut 2 weeks later or something of that sort.
All right.
Because I would like to see it sit there for a little bit.
I definitely think you should do more. Of this bourbon stuff like you did. I
Yeah.
mean, that was very informational. Very, very good. Very good.
Yes. It's it was fun.
Yeah. Maybe one day we can raffle off a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, maybe. Or beer.
You got an
too.
overabundance.
Beer too.
Beer, we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something we have to put our heads together with. Watch out.
We're
Maybe
horrible at marketing things.
we
yes. we don't know how
are.
to share. That's why we don't have. I mean, we're such an amazing podcast, and we only don't have thousands of followers. But
all we ask is for a like and a comment. Start liking, start commenting. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
raffle off
Share
a bottle
us.
of bourbon, man.
Yeah, we like to talk. We're not Joe Rogan. We're not doing 3-hour podcasts.
That's not what we're here for. We
And
shouldn't even be doing 55-minute
We're not a huge
podcasts.
fan of doing like 20-minute clips either. We kind of like to talk with you guys,
Because it's just us hanging out.
Yeah, just us hanging out. We like to share what we feel and how, and some people actually feel the same way as us, which is nice.
Yeah, that's cool. And like I said, you stick with us. Maybe we'll raffle off a bottle of bourbon soon.
Yes,
And,
yes. I have some pretty
we'll
bad
see.
ones. Good ones. I can.
Got some good ones.
Yes. On that note, who we're shouting out today, John?
We're shouting out to Frost Beer Works over in Vermont.
Yes.
We're shouting out Siboire Microbrasserie.
Blame Canada.
Blame
Canada. It was actually a really good beer, actually.
It was good. It was good.
Shout out to Barrell, guys. Awesome
Barrell?
stuff. You
Sure
guys.
it's Barrel, not Barrel.
It's Barrel.
All right.
Spelled with B-A. I don't know. And shout out to the generous tippers.
Generous tippers. Shout out Governor Murphy.
Just
Make it
a tip.
happen. Help out the craft beers and the distilleries and the wine. Help them out a little bit.
Yeah, help them out.
Give them a little bit more.
Yes.
Give them a little bit more to work with.
Yes. Governor Murphy, post a comment on our podcast, please. Tell
Yeah,
us
we
what
know
you
you're
think.
watching.
Yeah,
We know
you're
you're
watching. Yes.
We'll give you a call.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody in dry January. February's only 2 more weeks away.
Good luck, Chris. Yeah.
Actually, less than 2 weeks away.
Yes. Once again, we're not hating on you. We're just trying to figure out why you're doing it.
Yeah. And
John, cheers.
Ken, cheers.
And cheers to you
Cheers
guys.
to you guys.
All right.
Check us out.